everyone, and thank you for watching Edupedia World videos. In this lecture, we will start with the basics about the Sales and Distribution module in SAP ERP system. Sales and distribution is one of the most important application areas in the SAP ERP system. Sales and distribution application caters to the business processes associated with customer order fulfillment. SD has several components offering diverse functionality. For example, there are components for pricing, which control how prices and costs are determined in the sales transaction. Availability check, that controls how product stocks are allocated to orders from various customers. Credit management, that checks the credit worthiness of the customer before a transaction is permitted. Now we will cover the first steps in SAP system. First, we will take a look at SAP Easy Access menu. After a successful logon, the SAP menu SAP Easy Access is displayed. You can use it to start all the programs in the system. As displayed, the structure of the entries is similar to the directory tree. It is simply a list of programs, which is called transactions. And under the logistics folder, we can find sales and distribution folder. And on that folder, we can find all data and all transactions related to the sales and distribution module. This area called program area and this toolbar called command standard toolbar. Now we will take a first and closer look to the command standard toolbar. First, we will take a look in one of the most important things in this toolbar, command line. It enables direct and quick access to many programs and functionalities. For example, now we can access Create Order transaction VA01 and press Enter button. Now we can go back. We can switch the display of the command line on and off with the arrow to its right. Next, we see Save button. The Save button tells the system to save the data that has been entered in the database. The Save button is deactivated because no data is entered here. Next, we see Back, Finish and Cancel buttons. The Back button works like it does in browser. It returns to the last screen. If you are at the initial screen of an application, it works like an Exit button. It ends a program and returns to the previous program. If you enter data but not yet saved it, a query asks you if that is your attention. You can use the Cancel button to leave an input screen, even if you haven't yet finished entering the data. Next, we see the Print button. The Print button sends the content of the current program window to a printer set up in the SAP system. Next, we see Find and Replace buttons. The Search button lets you call a search dialog. Its appearance can differ substantially, depending on the program that is running and the data that you are working with. First page, previous page, next page, and last page. If a program interface displays tabular data that cannot fit at one screen, you can use these buttons to scroll through the display. Create New Session and Create Desktop Link. You can use Create New Session button to open additional main SAP graphical user interface windows without having to go through the long procedure. Users often work with several sessions so that can quickly switch between various program windows. The button to create a link enables execution of a specific program without display of SAP Easy Access. Help and Customize Local Layout. When you click the Help button, a pop-up window opens that displays help and tips. we can switch to K. And you can use the Customize Local Layout button to define settings for the appearance of the screen and behavior of the user interface. Go to Options, and here we can see a lot of settings, and we can customize them. Now we will take a look to another important information that has so far been hidden from us. We can go to Extras and Settings. Now we see some very useful settings. Display favorites at the end of a list. Do not display menu, only display favorites. Do not display picture, and display technical names. This one is most important. We must check it, because when we uncheck these settings, and save it. After that, when we want to find our transaction, go to Sales and Distribution, for example, Sales, Order, and we see transaction for creating order, change order, and display order. But we don't see here a very useful technical name. And when we change this setting to display technical names, after that we can see technical names of the transactions. We go the same: logistics, sales and distribution, sales, order, and now we see technical names. We can run transaction from SAP menu, or we can go back and enter technical name of the transaction to the command line and press enter. Now we will take a look to customizing menu. At the command line, we enter transaction code SPRO and press enter. This transaction code leads us to the Display IMG screen. It is called SAP Customizing Implementation Guide, or IMG for short. All the customization related steps will be launched from this menu. If you click any application here, you will find another menu that leads you to various submodules. For example, we can find Sales and Distribution, and we will see another submodules, another components of Sales and Distribution module, like master data, basic functions, sales, foreign trade, billing, sales support, electronic data interchange, POS interface, data transfer and archiving, system modifications, and authorization management. Based on the exact path listed here, we can reach the specific transaction in the menu where the customizing settings is to be carried. For example, we can go to Sales, Sales Documents, Sales Documents Header, and press on Define Sales Document Types. Now we will see all sales documents in the system, and if we double click on specific sales order type, we can see all configuration and all customization for this sales document type. Now we will take a look for the most important SAP Sales and Distribution components. Now we will talk about Sales and Distribution components. The first component is master data. SAP SD user includes master data, and the process involves track of each and every transactions within the data. The Sales and Distribution master data includes data of customer master, material master, pricing conditions record, output records, and credit management. From order to cash process, entire flow is being recorded in this module. Next component is basic functions. SAP SD configuration results effective process across all basic functions involved in the sales and distribution area. For example, pricing and output is good examples of basic functions. The amount of pricing used for a particular sale and the output results from the same, and so on. Sales component. As the term suggests, SD sales handles minute delays of every sale that is taking place. From reporting the product to customer details, pricing, feedback, and the sales process, everything is tracked through this module. Shipping. Sales are closely related to shipping and delivery. Product needs to be highly shipped and delivered to customer. There are different methods of shipping, and this module tracks each one used for each delivery. The entire process from being shipped to delivered or returned back is recorded through this component. Transportation. This component works closely with the above shipping module. A product can be either carried or manually delivered. The mode of transportation is different for each one and is being tracked through this module. Billing. Billing is a major part in sales. Customers can pay either online using debit or credit card, through cash or on delivery, or by using PayPal account, and so on. To maintain a proper track for future reference, each bill detail is recorded through this module. Sales support. From selling a product to maintaining it for a process, customers constantly interact with the sales team. The data exchanged between the sales team and customers while delivering support for a product is recorded and reported through this module. Now we'll take a closer look to most used sales and distribution transactions. Each transaction we can add to the favorite menu. Click with the right button of the mouse, insert transaction. First transaction is XD01. This transaction is used for creating customers. We'll take a closer look for creating a customer and creating master data in SAP in next lectures. XD01 transaction for creating customer. We can add another transaction which used to change customer. Basically, in each transaction in SAP, when you see at the end 01, it's for creating something. 02, it's for changing something. And 03, it's for display only. And XD03 will be for displaying customer. Insert transaction MM01. With this transaction, we can create all materials that will be used in our sales and distribution. Transaction to change material will be MM MM02, and transaction for viewing displaying material will be MM03. Insert transaction. Now we will take a look to most common transactions like VA01. VA01 transaction is used to create sales order. In sales and distribution, first we must create sales order, and only after that we can create all other necessary documents. We will look closer to this process in next lectures. Transaction to change change sales order will be VA02, and transaction to display sales order will be VA03. We can group our transactions into folders. We'll create few folders. First folder will be customer. We can drop transactions to this folder: XD01, XD02, XD03. And we can move favorites down or up. We can move down XD03 and move up XD01. Create second folder for material master. Materials. We can move favorite down and drop transactions for materials in this folder: MM01, MM02, MM03, and move down MM03 and move up MM01. And sales process. Oop. My mistake. Insert folder, not transaction folder. Insert folder sales process and press continue. Drop VA01 transaction, VA02 transaction, and VA03 transaction. Okay, so first step in sales process is creating sales order. After we create sales order document, we can use our order number to create outbound delivery document. To create outbound delivery document, we must use transaction VL01N. Create outbound delivery with order reference. So after we create sales order, we put our sales order number in this field, enter shipping point and selection date, and after that we can create our outbound delivery. To change outbound delivery will be transaction VL02N, and to display outbound delivery we can use transaction VL03N. After you create outbound delivery document, we can create billing document. To create billing document, you can use transaction VF01. Create billing document. We can enter here our preceding document. It can be or sales order, or it can be outbound delivery. It depends on the configuration, and we will configure our billing documents, sales documents, and outbound delivery documents in next lectures, and you will take a closer look to that process. To change billing document, we can use transaction VF02, and to display billing document, we can use transaction VF03. Next step, we can create our transportation document. To create our transportation document, we can use transaction VT01N. Create shipment transportation. Here we can enter transportation planning point, shipment type, and add all necessary deliveries to this shipment. To change shipment document, you can use VT02 transaction, and to display shipment document, you can use transaction VT03N. So this was the most commonly used transactions in sales and distribution module. And in next lectures, we will take a closer look to these transactions, to these processes in SAP system, and we will take a closer look to the configuration of these processes in SPRO transaction. In this lecture, we covered the basic menu used to access transactions and the customizing menu used to configure the system in sales and distribution module. We also touched upon the many functionalities in SD that will be covered in depth in the next lectures.